Hey, what's up, everybody? Danny here, and so I just wanted to pop in real quick and talk about something that I'm seeing more and more people have issues with around the WordPress space. So, for those of you who are just watching me for the first time, my name is Danny Liu, and I've been doing online entrepreneurship and, in particular, building personal brands and websites over the last several years. And as a technologist, my primary background is in technology, is in IT solutions and architecture. And so this topic today is very relevant to that, and to why this number one problem that I see a lot of newbies and even seasoned people in the WordPress or website building space in general make, and I'm coming to terms with why it might be overlooked. But most people think, when they think about WordPress, they're like, okay, well, what's the best theme should I choose? What's the right plugins do I need? And those sorts of things, right? But that's not really the biggest issue. Yes, those things are important, and you have to choose something that's going to help you take action and build your content and build your website out. But the biggest mistake that people make, and I know even I've made this mistake as a as a technology professional over 15 years, I've made this mistake as well when trying to build my WordPress websites. And so that is, you're trying to build out the infrastructure by yourself. Okay, so let me elaborate on that. So what I mean is, most people will recommend you to go to Bluehost to get your website hosting account set up, or GoDaddy, or SiteGround. There's so many different SiteGround, or so many different hosting providers. And if you're just starting out and you have a really small budget, that may make sense for you if you're willing to learn and put that effort into learning the learning curve on hosting. But hosting is a completely different animal in itself, and people develop their careers over years and years and years of studying the topic in order to make sure that they're building out website hosting solutions as best as they possibly can for performance, security, all of those types of things, availability. And that's something that, these smaller, lower budget hosting providers try to do, at least in their marketing and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, some of them are pretty solid. I actually am a big fan of SiteGround. But the biggest issue is your time. How much is your time worth to you? If you're not a solutions architect, which most people are not, when it comes to building out servers or doing security updates and things of that nature, then it may not be in your best interest to go that route. So what are some other alternatives? Well, some other alternatives are like Amazon Web Services. That is a cloud solution that you can essentially install your website, your WordPress website, or if you're developing an application, you can host it in the cloud. But then again, that involves a certain level of expertise in order to make sure you're building a highly fault-tolerant, available, secure solution. And then it gets pretty technical. I'm actually studying for my AWS developer certification right now for my job, but I'm also comparing how that relates to the WordPress world, and it is not a great solution, in my personal opinion, for WordPress. Maybe if you're a company who's building out a business that is providing hosting services for like WordPress users, then maybe using AWS makes sense. But not if you're just a personal brand who's trying to build a business. So that's enough on AWS. I don't want to dive into too much of that, because it can be there's just so much to talk about. But what you can do is go into look for a dedicated WordPress solution. Okay, dedicated meaning that it's managed. You've got a team that is behind the scenes doing all of the updates, all of the server updates, security updates, the WordPress security updates. If you're using WordPress, that's important because, it takes so much time and energy just to focus on the content, just to focus on getting the graphics right or getting the layout right, and that front end aspect of it. You don't want to be worrying about the code or the security updates or the plugin clashes and all that other junk. So again, that is it. That is the number one biggest mistake. It would have saved me so much time if I were to work on just my site and not trying to fiddle with all the hundreds of plugins that are available, all of the themes and things like that, and just focus on the content. So what are some hosting providers that you can use? The number one provider that I use is Presidium. So it's a company based out of Greece, and why Presidium over like SiteGround or any other like Bluehost or anything like that? Well, for one, as a managed hosting provider, what they do is they actually update all of the server infrastructure and what they call DevOps, so development operations. So all of the highly available architecture that's required to give you that highly secure, highly available, fault-tolerant solution, so that your site is always up and running and it's at it's performing at its best, at its fastest way possible, right? To deliver to your website pages to your users. So, they've got an excellent customer support as well. The portal for managing your website is very minimalistic. I'm all about minimalism. If you haven't been following me, and especially in technology, it makes it so much simpler to have that user interface to admin portal that is very clean. It's not cPanel. If you're familiar with cPanel, it's a nightmare. I hate working in it, but Presidium doesn't use that, and their customer support is baked right into it. You can quickly send them a note. They're very fast and responsive when it comes to replying back and giving you the guidance that you need. If you're non-technical, then it's a no-brainer in my opinion. I used to promote Bluehost a lot, and I still think it's a great option if you're willing to roll your sleeves up. But more so than ever, I know how much, how important time is. As a father and a family man, husband, I know, and a full-time, I have a full-time tech job. I know that you don't have the extra time to waste in just the back end stuff that, it doesn't drive your business forward, or it doesn't build your brand, right? So, keep that in mind. Now, what are some other alternatives? WordPress is just one of them. If you're willing to have something that is highly customizable, but managed on a great hosting provider like Presidium, so that you can focus on your content, it's a great place to start. If you're not really into WordPress, there are similar solutions that are all-in-one cloud solutions like Wix or Squarespace or Weebly. These are just a few of them. Even WordPress.com, not .org, .com offers its own cloud solution. So anyway, that's just my quick tips for today. If you have any questions about WordPress or website building, drop them in the comments below. And if you found this video useful, give it a like, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.